What is going on, everybody? It is Christros here, and today we got another deck profile for everybody. Um, so real quick, Tyrant came out to the game. Yeah, just so you know, Tyrant's out. One of the best decks. It's already kind of tier 0 in my own opinion. I'm seeing it everywhere. I went from gold to diamond to platinum, and I think I faced like 80% just tier matches. It was annoying. I didn't like it, not one bit. Yeah. So yeah, Tyrant's in the game. A lot of people playing them. So let's get in today's deck list. And it's not tier. We'll do that another day. But today we are bringing Madolche. Now I got two variants of this deck. I'm going to show off here for a second. So this is Madolche. This is variant number 1. And honestly, I'm thinking about cutting the Ash Blossom altogether to add Imperm. I think this would be a much better list because Ash Blossom is not doing really good. Having more hand traps, more going second tools against, just against it would be just against tier would be so much better. So yeah, so Madolche, they are based off desserts, and they each have pretty cool effects. They make pretty powerful Xyz monsters that could bounce cards from the deck or the graveyard to the deck. So like you could easily just keep on bouncing stuff. It's kind of nice. I like it a lot. So without life, let's get into the game. So we got 3 Max C. This is auto included in every deck. We got 3 Cyframe Gammas. 2 Cyframe Gammas and 1 Driver. This is our really only LA hand trap other than Max C. This does stop quite a bit of stuff, so it is kind of worth running. We got 2 Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake is pretty fucking cool. If this card is in possession destroyed by opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck. All Madolche cards have that effect. Now, what this card does is you can target 1 monster in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon 1 Madolche monster from your deck, except itself. So really neat, really love it. Just amazing. We got 2 Madolche. Madolche is if this card's in your possession and destroyed, you could shuffle it into the graveyard, from the graveyard into the deck. When this card is normal or flip summoned, you could add 1 Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. Really good starter. I'm only running 2, but you can run 3. We got 2 Mesalado. What this card does is when this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Madolche spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You must control up a Madolche beast monster to activate and resolve this effect, which would be Hoot Cake. We got 3 Angeli. Angeli is a great starter. You can tribute this card, special summon 1 Madolche monster from your deck, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Shuffle it into the deck during in phase of the turn. You can only use the effect of Angeli once per turn. So you could easily tribute this, get any of the other cards you want. Most likely be Hoot Cake or the next card we're about to talk about, Princess Pudding. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. You guys let me know how it's pronounced. Now, what this card does is amazing, though. If you have no monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, so it becomes a Stratos. But more importantly, if this card is special summoned, you can special summon 1 Madolche monster from your hand or deck, except itself. And if you do, we lose this level by 1. Then you can't special summon monsters except Madolche monsters for the rest of the turn. Then we got 1, the only Pudding Sus. Pudding Sus is the one you want to special summon from the deck. What this card does is if it attacks a monster after damage calculation, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. It's not the greatest thing. Usually you're doing it for a free special summon. Yeah, so there's that. Then we got 1 Sticky Kaiju and 1 Pankratops. These are good targets for Small Ward to go into your like Pudding Sus and Jelly plays or even Hoot Cake. So using the Small Ward bridges, but they also are really good, excellent going second cards. So definitely worth running. 1 Potter Prosperity. You could banish 6 of any cards of your choice and easily just continue drawing into the deck. 3 Small Ward, 1 Chateau. Chateau is a really cool field spell. When this card's activated, shuffle all Madolche monsters in your graveyard into your deck. All Madolche monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. If a monster in your graveyard would be returned to the deck by effective Madolche monster, you can add it to your hand instead. We got 1 Ticket. If another Madolche monster you control or is in your graveyard is added to your hand or shuffled into your main deck by a card effect, you can add 1 Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. If you control a fairy Madolche monster, you can special summon the monster from your deck in attack position instead. Then we got one Saloon. Some people are cutting this card. It's not the best, but I do like to run it because it does come off, in my opinion. During your main phase, you can normal summon one Madolche monster in addition to your normal summoner set. So in my opinion, that's really nice. Then if another Madolche card you control is in your graveyard, is added to your hand or shuffle in the main deck by a card effect, you could set one Madolche spell or trap directly from your deck. Then we got 3 Cosmic Cyclones for, I'm still running into Runic every now and then. So this is kind of nice to have. 2 Called by the Grave, 3 Evenly Matched, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 1 Madolche Promenade. Promenade is a Omnigate. If you control a Madolche monster and have 1 in your graveyard, you can negate the effects of the opponent's face-up card until the end of this turn, and if you do, return your monster to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, they target 1 Madolche XYZ monster you control, attach 1 Madolche monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard to it as material. So that's the main deck I'm running, and in my opinion, this is really solid, really good. It's really consistent, and yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it. With that, we got 1 Frame Load Omega. We got 2 Queen Terrasamu. This card is really interesting. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, and then target 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard. Shuffle those cards into the deck. Also, after that, shuffle cards your opponent controls into the deck up to the number of Madolche cards. This is non-targeting removal that doesn't destroy, it just bounces back into the deck. Really good card. Yeah, it's a great effect. 1 Abyss Driller. You're in tier format right now. You need Abyss Driller in all of your side decks, meaning your extra deck. If you can make it, run it. There's no ands, if, buts about it. 1 Baguska. Then we got 3 Teacher Class Souffle. This card is weird. Quick effect, you can target 1 material from this card. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 Madolche monster on the field. This turn, that face-up monster is unaffected by monster effects except its own. If a Madolche card is sent from the graveyard while this card is on the field, except during your damage step, you can shuffle up to 2 cards to your opponent. 2 cards from the graveyards into the deck. So it's really good, and right now with tier in the format, this does kind of get around with some stuff. So just an FYI. Then we got 2 Chocolate a la Mode. You can XC summon this card by using a rank 4 low Madolche XYZ monster you control as a material. Transfer its materials to this card. Then once per turn, you can target 1 Madolche card in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. When this card has a Pudding Sauce on material, when a Madolche card in your graveyard is shuffled into the main deck, except during the damage step, you can detach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 Madolche monster from your deck in the attack position or face down defense. So really good card, definitely worth running too. Then we got 1 Zeus since we are XYZ focused deck. We got 2 Fresh Start, Sistart. Not the best card in the deck, but it does come up quite often. When this card points to a Madolche monster, Madolche spell and trap cards you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, the player could target them with card effects. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle card effect, you can shuffle 1 Madolche monster from your graveyard into your deck instead. Definitely worth running too. We got 1 Earth Charmer since we are an Earth-based deck. Then we got 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed Ward just to get rid of annoying boss monsters we can't out. So that's the deck. Yeah. So with that out of the way, let's get into version 2 of the deck real quick before we go into the games. And this is version 2. Version 2 runs a lot more hand traps. I'm not totally excited for this one. Basically, I'm running the Vernasil cards. I'm going to be running this Pier, by the way, in the future with Melfi. So keep posted for that. But as I'm using these as extenders to get more bodies on the field to make rank 4s like Abyss Driller. But yeah, like I said, I'm not really enjoying it too much. It hasn't been that great. And like I said, also for this one, you could probably cut out the the Ash Blossoms for like Imperm. Or even evenly if you really wanted to. Something like this would be just fine. But yeah, I don't think the Venusaur cards add too much to it. I think Pure Madolche was a little better. So yeah, this is the deck list. All I did was add the Ketos and Medoras. These are important because you can target your opponent's tier cards in the graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck so they can't do fusion plays. So that does come up. So like, yeah, I'm basically the only big difference is I'm running 3 Madeline, 1 Mesolano, 3 Angeli, 3 Pudding Cess, 1 Pudding Cess, then 2 Keldo, 3 Medora, 2 Hoot Cake. Then the rest is like 3 of the Misting Seedlings, 3 of the Thorn Mountains, 3 Flourishing Hills, 1 Awakening of the Forest. That's about it. 1 Chateau, 1 Ticket, 1 Promenade. My extra deck is still 2 Queen. I cut down Teacher to 2, then 2 Chocolate Mode, 1 Bagusta, 1 Abystrella, 1 Zeus, 1 Fresh Start, 1 IP Masquerena, which this one might be better than the other one also, 1 Earth, 1 Unicorn, 1 Underwood Goddess, and Access Gold Talker. But yeah, basically the idea with Filling Cell was like you could just have more extenders, but Tier is just too fast, too powerful. This deck really can't keep up at the moment. So I think the regular Madolche was better and it had easier times, you know, taking care of, like, handling it. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's get into the games. All right, folks, this is game number 1 against Dark Magician. Still seeing Dark Magicians quite a bit, even Blue Eyes. Happy People's Pet decks still exist. So this is the second variant using the Venusaur cards, and you're going to see me kind of make some good plays. Activate Pudding Cess, Pudding Seer, get Pudding Cess. Now I'm going to go into Class Fusée, Teacher, detach, targeting itself. Then I'm going to link up into the Chocolate Mode. Chocolate Mode is going to target one of my cards, shuffle it back, and then I'm going to special summon Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake is going to banish my card in the graveyard to get Mesolano. Mesolano is going to grab me a Chateau. Now I got Chateau, I got Promenade. I'm feeling pretty good. I go to Fresh Start here, so that way my cards are unaffected. I get rid of my Medora. Hoot Cake re-special summons itself. Promenade's on the field. I'm feeling really comfortable in this position, and I'm going to end my turn. So my opponent activates Magician's Souls. He dumps Dark Magician. I max C. At this point, he really is not doing too good. So Dark Magician comes up, gets special summoned. He normal summons Cyberstein. He activates Eye to Maya. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let this go off. I'm gonna see what happens. He gets Dark Magician, the fusion there. Then he activates Cyberstein. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna allow that. So I promulgated the Cyberstein. I'm like, I'm not gonna let him do anything like that. That's a no. So Cyberstein gets negated because, like I said, I don't want that going off. Then he activates Upstart Goblin. Goblin trying to just get stuff. He activates Monster Reborn, targeting his Dark Magician. I'm going to Keto, Medora at this point. I shuffle back his Dark Magician and 2 of my own monsters. So, yeah, feeling pretty confident that Monster Reborn's not going to do nothing. He sets 1, and now he's going to attack for quite a bit of damage. So I'm back down 8,000, but stuff's looking pretty good. At this point, I'm feeling really confident. Activate Venusaur of of the Flourishing Hills, discarding Madeline. He's got Eternal Souls at this point, but he doesn't activate the effect. So I'm like, that's fine. I get Miss Seedling to my hand, and I get back Fresh Start. Hoot Cake's going to affect getting rid of my Madeline, and I got Pudding Sword. Pudding Sword is going to special summon Mesolano. Mesolano is going to grab me a Ticket. I activate Ticket. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm just going to attack. I crash. I attack with over Cyberstein. This time I attack for game. He's going to Eternal Souls, targeting the fusion, but I'm going to call by the grave, just getting rid of that. And that is game. So yeah, Dark Magician. Felt kind of like I was bowling there, and he just concedes. So yeah, that was the first match. Let's get into game number 2. Alright. So I know this is what you guys want to see. This is against Tyranids. Oh boy. So this is going to see a win here, but this was an interesting match. So I open up pretty poorly here. So I activate Miss Seedling. I'm going to discard both my Venusaur cards to get an Angeli to my field, and I do special summon my Venusaur. I activate summon Angelic, special summon Angelic, get Pudding Sword to get Pudding Cess. Then when X seasons, so you've seen this play before. Teacher effect is going to mean teacher effect. I won't activate. I'll go to chocolate. I'm going to activate chocolate as effect, targeting Angelic, shuffling that back. Then putting get Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake's going to banish and get Messolano. Messolano is going to allow me to get a Promenade. I'm feeling pretty confident in the position. I go straight to Fresh Start to protect my back row, and I'm going to end my turn. So we're going to see what ends up happening. My opponent activates me. No one summons Merly. I'm going to max C because I know where this is going. Not looking forward to it. Merly, he sits the top 3, and he only gets a Mordora. He kind of whiffs. Very happy with that. He activates Kelbeck from the hand, returning my Fresh Start. Then he activates Feather Duster. I'm going to have to, stop that. He activates Mordora here, shuffling back some cards. I'm like, that's fine. I activate Called by the Grave, getting rid of his Coelacanth. Just because, Camera Sale, just because I can. Yeah. This was an interesting one. Stuff got sent up. Yeah. He sets one into his turn, so I'm feeling pretty confident here. Permedad's going to activate. I do target my card here. At this point, I'm going to activate it. He's going to Solic, negate. I'm like, well, that sucks, but that's not the end of my turn there. So in his grave, all he has is one of the Millers. So I'm feeling pretty good. I get Mislead linked to my hand, and I'm going to special summon Flourishing Hills. At this point, I get Abyss Dweller. Yeah, feeling pretty confident for Abyss Dweller for next turn. Then I attack for 2,500. Main phase 2, and I'm going to rank up into Zeus. So this makes me feel really confident. I got 2 Zeus activations and a Dweller. They can't activate any graveyard effects. Merly gets activated. He mills 3. He got Ash, Instant Fusion, and Rhino Heart. That was an actually really good mill, but it didn't matter because Abyss Dweller. This is why you have Abyss Dweller. At this point, I'm just going to nuke the field. He ends his turn. And yeah, I activate Missealing, get rid of Joy Springs to get Angelic to my hand. Hoot Cake returns. He activates... I'm not going to try it. Andor and Kelbeck. So at this point, I'm just going to start going off. I'm feeling pretty confident that my opponent just doesn't have anything. So yeah, at this point, I'm going to attack. Zeus goes over the Kelbeck. I attack for 1,400, and this should be almost lethal. My opponent doesn't have anything. I have a full board. Let's see what he can do. 1 card. That's a good card, but can't do anything with an empty hand. And he just attacks for a game. I mean, he just attacks to end it. So that was against, yeah, an interesting opponent with tier. So like I said, this is why you run Abyss Dweller. It definitely helps out. Definitely worth running. So let's get into our last game. I hope everybody's enjoying. All right, folks. So those are the only 2 duels I want to show today, and this was the deck list for the Tierment. 1 Effect Veiler, 1 Orange Light, 3 Max C, 1 Herald, 2 Merly, 2 Havnus, 2 Sheeran, 3 Rhino Heart, only 1 Keldo, 3 Medora, 1 Kelbeck, and 2 Edgeld. I think he was running out of crafting materials. He has like 3 King with the Swamp, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Ghost Bell. Not the most optimal deck, could be a little better, but not bad. So he was running the Rainbow Bridge cards, but like he doesn't have a monster for it. Yeah, he could have played this. Have a better deck altogether, but I still consider this a win. This was the first tier game I played, so it was nice. He has the basic foundation down. I'm pretty sure this got better since then. So that was the tier. I'll show you guys the Dark Magician now. Alright, folks, and this is the Dark Magician one. It was 2 Dark Magicians, 1 Effect Veiler, 2 Magician Souls, who have 2 Illusion of Chaos, 1 Cyberstein. I'm assuming his target for Cyberstein would have been... What would it have been? What, the Dark Magicians, maybe? Master of Chaos, or yeah, it had to be Master of Chaos or the Dark Magicians, one of the two. Yeah, 1 poly, 1 Monster Reborn. Not the best deck at all. He really could make this better. But like I said, it was a fun duel, so I showed it off. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like me showing you guys the deck list at the very end, let me know. If you don't, I'll cut it from the next video. So yeah, I'll catch you all next time.